Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to start the last portion of the first topic. The name of the first topic is rocks and soil. In this topic we have by the time studied definition of rock, formation of rock, definition of soil, formation of soil, soil profile, physical properties, chemical properties, biological properties. These things we have covered. Now let us switch over to the last portion of the topic. Those are functions of soils. Now see here in this case which are the functions of soils. Let us go. Now there are three kinds of functions, as there are three properties of soils like physical properties, chemical properties, biological properties. In the same way there are three kinds of functions of soil. Let us go to the first kind of function, that is a physical functions of soil. Now in these physical functions the most important function that it gives mechanical support for growth of the plant. It gives means soil gives mechanical support. Mechanical support means what? For example, a pole is to be fixed in the soil, so we give some support. That is the support of some wire or support of cement, concrete, support of stones, like that. This, because of this soil, plant gets mechanical support. Means plant can stand, otherwise plant will fall down. So that mechanical support is very important. So that's why plant can remain erect in the soil. It can remain erect. It can remain erect. So here, because of that, the plant can form roots, soil mass, in the soil mass. Then another function, that this soil acts as a reservoir of what? Of water and air. Means the plants can get water and air out of this soil. No doubt plants can get air from the atmosphere also, but air from soil is also important. If there is a lack of air, then there will be no plant growth. Remember that in the soil there should be at least 25% air, 25% water. Then only any plant can grow in such kind of soil. So the roots of the plant can absorb water, can absorb air from the soil. So this soil works as a reservoir, a storage of water and soil. So plant can get various gases like oxygen from the soil. Likewise, number 3 function of physical function of soil, that soil also stores sun heat. Now we know that generally the color of soil is black. No doubt there are red colored, yellow colored, and other different colors are there. But generally black color or reddish color of soil is available on large scale. So this black color, we know that as per the physics, black color absorbs heat from the sun. So this soil absorbs heat from the sun and stores in the soil. So that's why you can find that soil never gets cooled down. It always remains warm. Even in the summer season where there is a temperature is very hot, sometimes it crosses 40 degrees centigrade, even that the soil temperature is maintained, it doesn't cross that limit. In warm climate, soil remains up to the particular temperature. In cold, it doesn't become very cold. So the temperature of soil, it should be as possible 20 to 35 degrees centigrade. How to maintain that temperature, that we will see later on. Now here this soil works as a store of sun heat and it applies to plant growth. So there are three physical functions of soil related to plant growth, that soil gives mechanical support to the plant for growth. Number two, soil works as a reservoir for water and air. And number three, soil stores heat, sun heat. Come to chemical functions. Now in these chemical functions, we have already studied the chemical properties of soil. Means the chemical properties depend upon pH, acidic soil, neutral soil and alkaline soil. So when the pH of soil is 7, that is neutral. When the pH of soil goes below 7, that goes on becoming high acidic. When pH of soil goes above 7 degree, it becomes alkaline. So then another function, another chemical properties of soil we have studied earlier. Now depending upon that, what are the chemical functions of soil? Most important, that soil provides plant nutrients to the plant growth. So the availability of plant nutrients in the soil depends upon pH. The average pH of soil should be 6.5 to 7.5. In this range, soil provides maximum number of nutrients required for plant growth. So soil works as a storehouse of plant nutrients, because soil contains various organic compounds, inorganic compounds and many things are there. Because of weathering of rocks, inorganic compounds are also available in the soil. Some decomposed plant material, decomposed animals, they also provide organic compounds. So organic and inorganic, these compounds are available in soil, and their quantity depends upon the kind of soil. So these organic or inorganic compounds are made available by the soil to the plant growth. Then this is the most important chemical function. Then another, that it brings, means here in this case the nutrients in soil solution, means what happens that these organic and inorganic compounds dissolve in water present in the soil, and that provides different nutrients made available to the plant growth. So these are the chemical functions of soil. Let us go to biological functions of soil. Now this in the soil, any soil which is used for agricultural production, that soil always has two kinds of organisms. So which are the two kinds of organisms? Plant and animal origin. These two kinds of origin plants are available always in the soil. So other means, again in this plant origin and animal origin, there are different kinds, like micro animals, macro animals, means that we call microorganisms, macro, M-A-C-R-O, macroorganisms. In the same way, micro plants and macro plants. Micro means very small, which cannot be seen by naked eyes. Those are called micro, which requires to see microscope. So in the same way, animals are there, micro animals, macro animals, which are the macro, larger animals like rodents, different kinds of worms and insects, then frogs, rats. And these are all macro animals available in the soil. They remain, they are habitat. So soil is an habitat. Habitat means a place which gives shelter. So this soil gives shelter to plant and animal origin organisms. Okay, there are different thousands and lakhs of fungi, bacteria, viruses, many such are available. Again in the soil there are also nematodes and earthworms. So in these organisms, again we can classify like harmful organisms and helpful organisms. Harmful organisms are such which causes damage to the plant, like rodents, different kinds of insects, and different disease-causing organisms, disease-causing fungi, disease-causing viruses. They are all harmful organisms. And helpful organisms are which, like earthworm, then frogs. Frogs don't remain forever in the soil, but they sometimes intrude in it. So these organisms, what they do, they aerate the soil. They increase the air content in the soil. So because of increased aeration, that helps the plant to grow profusely, grow very vigorously. So these things are there. Now this earthworm casts its excreta, and that makes the soil very fertile. Now this generally 25 tons of earth per hectare per year is turned over by the earthworm. These earthworms are very handy, very useful to the farmers, useful to the plant growth, because they increase the fertility. So these are the physical, chemical, proper functions of soil. Again, we are continuing that in these biological functions, then soil fertility, it possesses better soil fertility. Then earthworms also transform or invert the soil, transfer of soil layer from one layer to another layer. So these are the different functions of plant and animal organisms in soil. So these are the three kinds of functions: physical functions of soil, chemical functions of soil, and biological functions of soil related to plant growth. Now come over to another portion. Now this soil health, as we know that every person wants to be very healthy. So what is required for human health? Good food, good exercise, timely sleep. Likewise, in soil also, the health of soil also is to be preserved. So what is the health of soil depends upon? Health of soil depends upon plant nutrient content. Means the content of plant nutrients in the soil decides soil fertility and soil productivity. So depending upon the population of microorganisms, depending upon the quantity of these plant nutrients, this soil health is decided. Sometimes you might have seen that soil is white in color, that is not productive, that is called problematic soil. So that is not fertile soil, that is also not productive soil. So the soil which is fertile and productive, that soil is healthy soil in the sense of plant growth. Otherwise that soil will become ill soil, or that soil also can be called as problematic soil or infertile soil. So soil health is also important. Now here another thing that the presence of population of microflora and microfauna. Just we have studied, it is the same thing. Microflora means microplants, microfauna means micro animals. They decide the plant growth, because these microorganisms convert the cellulose or cellular material into the these micronutrients, and that because the soil becomes rich of organic matter. So this organic matter is very important in soil, and this matter, particularly the humified matter, means the matter from which nutrients can be absorbed by plant. So This soil health is important in this sense. Again, we can increase the soil health by application of fertilizers. When fertilizer is applied, there will be more nutrients. Again, we can use the intensive cropping, then also we can get more production. So, likewise, but excessive fertilizer application, excessive cropping will decline the fertility of soil, productivity of soil also. So sometimes that some fertilizers contain heavy metals like phosphatic fertilizers. So these heavy metals remain accumulated, stored in the soil, and in that sense the soil loses its fertility. So what is important, that soil organic carbon is very important, is a key, supposed to be the key nutrient for maintaining good soil health. So organic carbon is important, other things are not important. So for this purpose, integrated plant nutrient supply is to be applied. So what is that integrated plant nutrient supply? That we have to keep the soil always fertile and productive by improving its health. How we can improve health of soil? By application of green manuring. Green manuring crops are there: sanhant, dhencha, baru, gawar. These are the green manuring crops that we will study detail later on. So when they are mixed in the soil, they increase the soil fertility. Then we also have to recycle the external inputs like this mulching, green leaf manure, and composting. Compost is also to be applied on large quantity. Now this green manuring is also part of composting. So compost increases soil fertility and soil productivity. There are different functions of compost in the soil. For example, number one, compost provides different micro and macronutrients. Now, what is the difference between micro and macronutrients, that we will see in the next topic. So, what is the function of or role of compost? To provide nutrients. Number two, to increase warmness in the soil. Number three, increase water holding capacity. Number six, this compost increases warmness in the soil. It increases drainage capacity of soil also. It also provides food for microorganisms. Again, it maintains the physical health of the soil, and all physical, chemical properties of soil are maintained by compost, like farmyard manure compost. There are different kinds of compost. Now, two things are important related to soil. Number one is soil fertility, and second is soil productivity. Now, this is the second is soil productivity. Now, what is soil fertility? There is a difference between soil fertility and productivity. Soil fertility is a capacity of soil to provide essential nutrients. Means there are number of essential nutrients available in the soil. That soil is called fertile soil. So the nutrients should be present in adequate amount, in proper proportion, and other factors are also important, like this light, water, temperature. Along with nutrients, light, water, temperature are important to maintain fertility in the soil. Again, the most important thing, that this soil fertility, remember that this soil fertility is an effect of soil-plant relationship. What is the effect of soil-plant relationship? That is plant growth. When there is a proper soil-plant relationship, plant growth takes place. What is soil-plant relationship? Just we are studying the same thing, that different functions of soil, different functions of other factors in soil related to plant growth. So there should be soil and plant relationship. There is. If soil is fertile, there will be more growth. If soil is productive, there will be more production. If the soil is poor, then the plant growth will not be good. Again, the seed should be of good quality. If seed has poor germination, there will be no proper germination. Many things are there. So soil-plant relationship is a very important factor to be remembered. Now again, more thing that it is the inherent capacity of soil to supply nutrients. What is that? Soil fertility is inherent capacity. Means it is a born capacity. Born in the sense that when soil is made from the rocks, at the same time the soil gets fertility. In fact, we cannot increase or decrease soil fertility beyond a particular level. We may add fertilizers, we may add compost, that will increase fertility of soil, but up to certain extent. Suppose there is zero fertility in soil, then there will be no use of these composting, no use of fertilizer application. So remember that soil fertility is the inherent capacity of soil to supply nutrients, or we can say that soil, it is the capacity of soil to provide essential nutrients. Second thing to be remember, soil productivity. Now soil productivity, this is an economic concept. We say many times, what is production in the crop, production in the field, what is production in a factory. So that productivity, what is the soil productivity? This signifies capability of soil to produce yield under specified management practices. Means what yield, what quantity of yield is produced, that decides productivity. So this soil productivity depends upon soil fertility, no doubt. If soil is not fertile, it cannot be productive. So here in this soil productivity, another thing that there are several, it is a function of several factors. Means soil productivity can be increased or decreased by different factors. There are agronomical factors also, like plowing, harrowing, clod crushing, application of sufficient irrigation, climatic factors like warmness, precipitation. Many things are there, and out of all these things, soil productivity is formed. And this is soil, you can see this definition of soil. It is the capacity of soil to produce per unit area under given management practices. It is called soil productivity. So what is the definition of soil productivity? It is the capacity of soil to produce per unit area under given set of management. Then what is the definition of soil fertility? It is considered as the capacity of soil to provide essential nutrients. So remember the difference. Now again we have to remember that all productive soils are fertile, but every fertile soil need not to be productive. What is the difference? Suppose we say that soil of our village is productive, means it is always fertile. If soil is not fertile, it cannot become productive. So this productivity depends upon fertility. But if soil is fertile, it is not necessary to be productive. But suppose there are number of nutrients available in the soil, but when cultivation is done, when sowing is done, there is no production of crop. Means the soil is fertile, but there is no productivity, because productivity depends upon many things, and soil fertility is one of the things, one of the factors responsible for soil productivity. Now here the salinity of soil, alkalinity of soil, all these things are there which decides soil fertility and decides soil productivity. Now let us see what is the difference between soil fertility and productivity. Here just we have seen, this is the repetition. Soil fertility, it indicates availability of nutrient. Soil productivity indicates production per hectare. Soil fertility, it supplies nutrients. Soil productivity, it is a relationship between soil and plant. Soil fertility, it is it cannot be, soil fertility can be analyzed in the laboratory. Soil productivity can be analyzed in the field by taking production of a crop. Then soil fertility, it is an inherent status, but soil productivity, it depends upon various factors. And last point is important, in both all fertile soils may not be productive, but all productive soils are generally fertile. They are fertile. So this soil fertility and productivity, these things are very important to understand. So in this case, how to improve soil productivity? So fertility is inherent capacity, but we can increase the productivity by application of organic carbon, means application of compost. Then we can also increase by application of organic manures, biofertilizers. When this is applied, it can also increase the productivity of soil. Then we also have to take another remedies like reclamation, addition of these amendments, adoption of suitable soil conservation practices, like these things. Means suppose soil has become more acidic, we have to make it buffer, we have to make it neutral. So in acidic soil, we have to apply lime. If the soil has become alkaline, we have to apply gypsum. That will neutralize the soil and that will improve the fertility and productivity. Now what we have to remember, how fertility is affected? Fertility is affected by many factors. If it is not handled properly, if proper crop growth is not, crop cultivation is not taken properly, if tillage operations are not done, if there is ill drainage, poor drainage, water is stored, waterlogging condition takes place, if fertilizers are applied in larger quantity, if there is a soil erosion means loss of soil due to rainfall and many other factors. So if this soil fertility and productivity can decrease due to many of these things, and also can increase if proper management is done. So this is about soil fertility and productivity. If you have any question, you may post your questions on the WhatsApp group. I will answer from the same platform. Till the next lecture, goodbye, thank you.